up, you guys? This is Rob from Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be taking a look at one of the many Fortuna arcanes that I'm going to be covering on the channel. Realistically, I'm probably only going to cover like 2 of them because the other 2 are a little bit bleh. But let's go over them real quickly, then we'll play around with the Pack Seeker. So, as you guys know, there is Pack Soar, and this improves efficiency while airborne and reduces weapon recoil while airborne, as well as increases your aim, glide, and latch time. I'm so excited. Not really. I don't know why DE always includes those things, but you know what? If it's up your alley, then you do you, boo. Next up is the one that I do want to take a look at soon, which is Pack's Charge, and this converts your ammo into like a kind of like charge. So instead of actually having to use standard ammo, it just kind of like recharges like arc-wing weapons. So that one I could see working really well with the Gaze and maybe the Rattle Guts. So stay tuned. Next up is Pack's Bolt. This one seems a little bit basic, if I'm gonna be honest with you. On headshot kill, you'll get a chance to get increased efficiency and ability strength within a few second window. Not really that interested, because at max it's only 50% chance. But the one we are going to be taking a look at today is Pack Seeker. Oh, this one is really, really fun. So on a headshot kill, you get a 25% chance for one projectile to burst from the target and seek the heads of nearby enemies. Now this goes all the way up to a 100% chance with 4 projectiles seeking enemy heads. It looks so freaking fantastic, and let me tell you, there are some good things and there are some bad things. Some people like to over-exaggerate and like, look at how amazing it is, but you know, they only test on the infested. I'm like, unarmored targets? We gonna pass on you, and we're gonna show them how you actually test a weapon without, you know, going 2 or 3 hours into a survival, because, you know, it's like the day before Thanksgiving and Rob's got shit he gotta do. So let's jump into Simulacrum. Alright, so as you can see, we are currently rocking a rank 2 Pack Seeker. On headshot kill, there is a 75% chance for 3 projectiles to burst from the target and seek the heads of nearby enemies. Now, as with most head seekers I've known in my time, sometimes it's fantastic, other times it's quite disappointing, and in the end, you know, they're all nice and pretty to look at. So let's go ahead and just jump in to show you guys exactly how this works. Now, as you guys know, I do have 3 different chambers, and we will be using all 3 chambers today to kind of demonstrate how this all plays out on each one. The Gaze, the Catchmoon, and we're going to be starting things off with the Tomb Finger. The Rattle Guts is going to have to wait a little bit. I do want to kind of play around with more arcanes before we commit to anything. But as you can see right here, we do have 8 corrupted butchers that are ready to go now. This is what I call the, oh my god, jizz in your pants, it's so amazing setup, but it's not really the truth. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, look at this amazing thing I found. This is so amazing. This is like the epitome of bad testing in the Simulacrum. So as you can see right here, oh my god, look at that, it just kills them. It's so strong, it just instantly kills all of these guys. Wow, that's absolutely nuts. Are you kidding me? It just is immediate death. You're seeing hundreds of thousands of points of damage. That's 150,000 on a level 160. Are you guys? Woo! And to be completely honest with you, that's not bad. It's not bad when it comes to trash enemies. And I know some people out there who are like looking at, you know, screenshots that people are taking. Look at the millions of points of damage that we're doing. And, you know, it looks great on targets that are not very well armored. In fact, what we're gonna do real quick is we're not gonna go ahead and test this on a heavy. No, we're not gonna test this on a heavy. I'm actually gonna go ahead and test this on another trash mob, just to show you exactly the big difference that some armor can make. Because as you guys know, butchers don't really have very much armor. It says they have armor, but it's more like just like a breath of armor. It's like someone did some heavy breathing on them, and that's the armor that they're calling armor, because it's not really that much armor. It's exactly why I laugh when people show off shattering impact on a butcher, and they're like, look, you only have to hit him once and it strips your armor. I was like, bitch, they didn't have much armor to begin with. But as you can see right here, well, maybe you can't see right there because it's a 75% chance, not 100% chance. So we're really rocking that 75% chance right now. So as you can see right, wow, that's 75, those 25% are really in. But even with just the little armor that these corrupted lancers had, it dropped down from 150 1,000 points of damage down to a couple thousand. You're seeing some 2,000, you're seeing some 6,000s. It really depends on whether it lands a headshot or not, but it's not that crazy great. Now, of course, these projectiles can hit the, multiple projectiles can hit the same target at once, so it's very nice. Did you notice a little firework? It's very, very pretty. But yeah, as you can see, the projectiles travel about 20 meters. They have very, very similar trajectory as Nyx's Psychic Bolts. So definitely keep that in mind, because for anybody who's used Nyx's Psychic Bolts, sometimes the bolts hit your targets like boom, it just seeks in, they get in behind cover, and sometimes they just go out into space. And that's what I've found, that occasionally, it's not every single one because it does have pretty good tracking on it, that occasionally the tracking goes a little awry and you're like, I'm not exactly sure how this is supposed to go, right? You can see it kind of like curves around a little bit. It makes a nice little pretty show. But if enemies get too far away, or if the bolts don't have anything to track onto very, very quickly, then it's not as great. But as you can see right here, Pack Seeker having a little bit of struggles when it comes down to even just these kind of like mid-tier trash mobs. Of course, not everybody's going to be fighting level 160s. Not everybody's going to be able to fight level 160s. I did try this out with the Tomb Figure on level 100s, and it was able to clear out those enemies. So it's kind of like one of those things where like, all right, you know, maybe level 160s overkill. Not everybody's fighting level 160s. Not everybody is fighting level 160s, but you know, maybe they're fighting level 100s, and it's for level 100s, it's fine and dandy. So let's go ahead and drop that down real quick so you can see what this looks like and show how this works with the Catchmoon. Because the one thing I will say is I think that the Catchmoon is just a spectacle. The Catchmoon is like a spectacle with this, because you get this, if you get enough headshots just passing through enemies, you just get this kind of like stream. You get this kind of stream of like confetti. You see how many like just came up through that? It's just such a cool shot. So picture just a bunch of like infested chargers coming at you, and you just shoot them with that. You kill a bunch, and then you see all the little tracking shots finishing off any like any healers or anything in the background that you know is trying to still stay alive. But you can see like this like is a spectacle with the fucking Catchmoon. It looks great, and as you can see right there, all of the little confetti streamer things are ending up killing level 100 trash. Trash is the key word, because like I was saying, it's good for trash mobs. This is really not gonna budge against heavies. Against heavies, it's kind of like, But you can orange crit as well, so just in case you guys were curious, because the projectiles do seem to be affected by the mods you have placed onto them. So you've seen how this works with Catchmoon. I hope you guys are kind of fine with that. But let's go ahead and try this out with the gaze real quick. And what we're gonna do with the gaze is we're gonna show how this works with against like moving targets, right? So we've got you coming out, babes, and then let's bring to life some of these enemies. So no corrupted lancers. Well, we're gonna have a smattering. We're gonna have a smattering of enemies in here from all different corrupted types. Grab some trash enemies as well. Some of those. Maybe grab like a couple of these guys. How much do I have left? Let's do like this, and then like, do we have enough for like one of these? Can we do? There you go. All right, we'll do that. There you go. Let's simulate those. And let's go ahead and grab the gaze. Ooh, I'm getting a phone call in the back. Give me a second. So actually, let's. Oh God, they're all paused. They're all actually. While we're pausing, let me go ahead and pause to take that phone call while I reset. I'm fully insulted. That was no one important. I was like, who dares call me? So as you can see right here, we're going ahead and going in with the gaze, and the gaze is great at whittling down enemies. Again, we're fighting level 100s right now, so you are seeing this in kind of like, you know, something that you might experience out in the game. Now, as you can see, we are getting the tracking, which is quite nice. Now, what I have noticed is sometimes the tracking isn't as great. Like you saw that, right? They went this way. The enemies are this way, And it's not like this guy was so far off. It's not like this guy was so incredibly far off, you know, that it shouldn't have gone and hit something. But like I said, sometimes the little party streamers decide that they want to go in really strange directions. And sometimes it's not all that fantastic. So up against these level 100, see, you can even see it right there. Even though it did knock him off the edge, so technically I'm gonna count that as a win. Even though it did kind of hit the guy, it only hit him for like 300. So up against highly armored targets, and remember, that's up against a level 100. We usually test on 160s, you know. Here in this house, we test against 160s, right? But it was only doing a couple hundred points of damage there. So it's not, it's great for certain things, but not great for other things. Look at that. Just chase that little asshole down and he's dead. And then we could get this guy down. And then that should be it for this. So as you can see, at its best, it can clear out a bunch of trash mobs. At its worst, it can just really be, it can be really not very much. And last but not least, you know, at its worst, it can kind of just float into the air and dissipate into nothingness with all the good intention in the world, but really, you know, but really not be fantastic. The one thing that I will point out here too, just so that you guys are aware, is several of the kit gun weapons that we have are radiation based, so it will actually cause enemies to turn in on each other. Now, I mean, I clearly put down like a little map field there. See, look, 900 when it orange crits. I mean, it's good. Listen, it's good against unarmored targets. Like I was saying, good against unarmored targets, not the greatest. And did you see that? That thing traveled maybe 15 to 20 meters, and 2 of its projectiles made it there. 1 of its projectiles not quite. See, as you can see, oh, it's nice, like little 10k damage, not bad at all. And we've got a hotfix coming in, so that's DE's way of saying, Rob, shut the fuck up and end this video already. And I will in 1 second though, DE, because what we gonna do before we finish this off is we're gonna show off one last little bit, because I did want to put this out there. You know, I want to give props where props are due, right? So I'm gonna kill the enemies, and what we're gonna do real fast is we're gonna go grab that tomb finger again. We're gonna grab our little Britovius kit gun. We're gonna grab that, and then we're gonna go ahead and crank these enemies up to 160. So you see that? I'm gonna crank them all up to 160, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in a little Oberon back the fuck up, right? Because, you know, we have ways of getting enemies naked, right? And I mean, I say, why not? You know, I showed it off at where it struggles, when it was on the struggle bus, and I should also show it off where it's kind of winning, right? So that you guys can see, you know, exactly how this kind of works, how this works when you have a setup that is kind of like made to strip armor. Bitches, you better stop. To take out armor. Listen, there you go. So when you have things like this and you can strip armor off of enemies, or you're taking on unarmored enemies, this thing can do a lot of work. It's a lot of work done, and I approve of the work that it does. You know what I mean? I think it's great where it's great. Like I've said many times before, you got to win where you can win, right? And if you can get some armor stripping going on, if you're going up against unarmored targets, it's good. I think that it's definitely a good augment. I actually don't even think it's a bad augment. I just think that we need to be realistic with how the augment works, rather than try to kind of like, oh my god, look, and kind of approach it from like a place of, I guess you would say, like fake news. Like, oh my god, this is so fantastic. I was like, is it really that fantastic though? Let's show off where it's, I mean, he was right there. That wasn't even 15 meters. And our little party streamers couldn't even find this motherfucker. But again, that's why we're approaching this from a realistic standpoint. Fucking fantastic when you've got it set up and, you know, you could see it work on all of the enemies. It's really, really cool. Great for trash, great for unarmored, but not 100% perfect, right? This is really what I would expect to see somewhere, you know, maybe even in like arbitrations, if you're not planning on going far, because I know that there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you know, peace, round 8, I'm out, you know, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, 10 minutes are up, I'm gone, bye. You know, it's like one of those things, you know, that kind of setup. Or for ESO where you don't plan on going in for very long, like it's like those, it's good for that. However, if you get up in levels, it's gonna be a little bit more restrictive. Regardless, toss your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you guys really excited to use this packs? Because I still think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really fun for when it is good, right? And it's good a lot of the time. It's good for a lot of things. Let me know what other packs you guys are excited to take a look at, because I'm really excited to see exactly how Charge works out. And also, Rattle Guts is going to end up coming at some point in time. I think I'm going to try to kind of peg mine as like an Axe Stiletto, but with more base damage, a little less fire rate, and slightly less, what is it called, supplementals, but it's going to be rechargeable, so a little bit there. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. DE says get out, so I gotta get out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.